I call my whole journey a journey of faith and determination. When you start with like poverty is painful because myself, I'm coming from a background where I don't like to say I'm coming from a very poor background, but it is what of it. But I had to break out of it. And so if you ask, I always say that I break out and read out of poverty.
When did you start seeing real stability? You're talking from a point of challenge.
We see stability from the side of having 7 digits amount in your bank accounts. Stability is when you found purpose in yourself. Stability is when you know what you are about. Stability is when you know you can do something, you do that and you're okay and you move on with that and then you are sustained in it. Absolutely everything under the sun is possible.
Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Success Diaries. And as usual, this is your host, Benedict. Today, we have a very promising young man here with us. And this conversation, I bet you, is going to be an amazing one. Today, the conversation will be in 3 folds. The first fold will be about his education, how he chose what he's doing now. The second one will be about his interest in writing. And the third one will be about his interest in politics. Without wasting much time, we have with us Julian Yamiche Oseko, and he's a student pharmacist studying at Central University. And aside studying, he's writing and doing other stuff. So I would like him to introduce himself personally. So welcome to the Urban Life Success Diaries. You're welcome. So tell us a little about yourself. Let us know who Julian is. Something brief about yourself.
Great. So Julian Yamiche Oseko, who I call it a household name, right? So I am a student doctor of pharmacy, right? I'm offering PharmD at the Central University School of Pharmacy. Simultaneously, I'm offering bachelor's degree in health sciences with the University of the People, the United States, online, right? Aside education, you would always find me writing. So I'm an author and I have a stern interest in politics, just as you say. Yeah.
And that's okay, and that's amazing to know. How are you combining the dual degree program? You're doing one online, you're doing one in person. How are you combining them both?
So I call my whole journey a journey of faith and determination, right? And so as such, I do believe that everything I do is supposed to be ruled by determination, and that's what has kept me going. So you know that Doctor of Pharmacy is one of the troublesome and very terrifying courses you can study in the university. Right? As such, I'm still doing it together with bachelor's degree in health science, which is another, tormenting degree. But, determination has kept me active in the goal. I have psyched my mindset. And I always tell people that people who start and don't finish whatever they want to do is as a result of, lack of determination and a twitch in their psychology. I'm a person with very, active and solid psychology because I see myself surrounded with strong people who have always kept me going in the journey. And so when you ask me what actually is keeping me doing pharmacy, doing health science, active in politics, right, and keeping me relevant in the game, I would say determination.
Awesome. So what sparked your interest in pharmacy? How did you, come about entering pharmacy school?
Great. So, everybody who knows Nyamiche from younger ages would tell you Nyamiche had a great interest in astronomy. Ask yourself why pharmacy now. So my whole journey has been a case study. So it's practical, undiluted, and I will tell you what it is. So when I was young, somewhere in Antioquia, a suburb of Soweto, if you know Accra or you do know that place, I fell sick and I was admitted to one hospital there called Deseret. I was very young, a young guy coming up around, I think, age 9, age 10, right? And these people kept coming to me on my bed dressed in white gowns with, this thing on their neck. and they have nothing, but they come and they write something for my body, and they just go and they come and they give me medications, and I feel like I'm drinking the medication, and what I'm feeling within is going down. Like I'm starting to feel healthy. I'm starting to feel like I used to feel before. It sparked the curiosity part of me. So as a writer, I'm very curious. And so I wanted to find out what special are they doing to me that they come, they just put some ear plugs in their ears, put some stones on my chest, and they think they have a lot to say about what is going on in my body. So I read, because I'm a reader, right? So I read wide into the art of medicine. I read wide into the art of healing. And I think I found a new passion there. So my passion moved from discovering the stars to, knowing what happens within the human body, what makes the human body active and what keeps one another going. And I'm also a person who really loves children. And so I hate to see children battling chronic diseases. I hate to see children battling diseases like cancer and all. And as such, it sparked my passion for medicine. It sparked the inner me to pursue medicine and help these children, because I thought I will be a best person to be in the place of healing and also help them in the place of finances altogether. So if you ask me what has really kept my shift from astronomy to medicine and has kept me rooted in pharmacy, I would say is the passion, the drive, and the love for cats.
Okay, so what were some of the challenging aspects of your training? I mean, I know health sciences are a bit tough, but I mean, give me one challenge in pharmacy school. Let me know.
So in pharmacy school, we do run a lot of courses per semester, right?
Yeah.
And as well, we do face a lot of challenges when it comes to payment of fees, because myself, I'm coming from a background where I don't like to say I'm coming from a very poor background, but it is what it is. I'm coming from I'm coming from a background where the list is difficult to find. Let me keep it that way. And so as such, if I'm talking about challenges that has really, hit me through just 4 to 4.5 to 5 years of pharmacy school, I would say that it has been financial crisis. But just like I told you, I'm determined, and by the help of some, good men and good people around me, by the help of God and some few good men around me, I'm still active in the goal. But I always say that in as much as I give credit to people helping me, I always give credit to myself, because by the grace of God, I'm a very brilliant young guy. And my brilliance and standing academic excellence has kept a lot of people giving me attention when it comes to the things of academics. And so, yeah, people are willing to pay just so I fulfill the.
So, Julian, have you ever felt like giving up? The story you are giving me, it shows how challenging it's been. So, have you ever felt like giving up? Let me forget everything and then, go and then,
I am human, right? So, and definitely in the journey of every man, you may give up, right? But the stopping point is not where you give up, right? And so I believe that, yeah, I've given up. There are times that if payment of fees became very struggling, tormenting, challenging for my family. We were seeking help from extended family and nobody was willing to help, seeking help from outsiders, and nobody was even, showing up. It took just a few people who weren't even part of my integral family to see the academic excellence I was posing out there to come up that they want to support me in the journey. And so, yes, I've felt like giving up before. I am human. But when you give up, you don't have to stop. That is the point. When you give up, I thought that giving up as part of the progress, as part of the journey. And I always say that the journey is the gift, right? So as such, the progress is also the journey. But the real results you see now is the real magic, right? This is as a result of what people have invested in me. And so if I've give up, I'm not sure Benedict will be interviewing me by now, right? And so I don't think giving up is something to have said. It's an option, but when you give up, you don't have to stop, because sometimes you need time to regenerate energy and come back stronger.
Yes, that's very inspiring. And to pharmacy, choosing to read pharmacy, did you receive any guidance from your parents, or it was just a personal decision? Did they influence your decision to read pharmacy?
Great. So the highest degree my dad holds is a senior high school. The highest one my mom holds is also a senior high school, and as such, they didn't even know so much about the pharmacy course. But just like I told you, I'm very forceful and I'm surrounded by strong men and very active and participative people who are knowledgeable and educated in various fields. And so I had mentorship from a lot of people. I had a lot of people talking to me aside my parents, aside my mom and my dad. I had friends who had entered pharmacy school and didn't go well for them, so they had dropped back. I had friends who are in pharmacy school and are progressing. I had friends in medical school. I had friends reading MLS, that is the medical science laboratory sciences, and they were performing, marvelously. And so all taking insights from all these people, both those who have dropped out, those doing well, those heading towards valedictorian stages, refurbished my idea about what I was entering into. It gave me a clearer view of where I was going to, and it also seconded my mentality and my mindset on what I have to do and what I do not have to do as I'm entering that field. And so if you ask me if my main parents, had to advise me about the pharmacy course I was choosing, no, they left me to follow my passion, right? I tell you the truth, just like I say it. They didn't know about the course. They didn't know anything about what I was entering. But people around me who were there, who have been there, who are still there, who are suffering, who are battling challenges there, spoke to me, and they really, gave me really good insights. And that insight is what has kept me, going from level 100 to this stage. I'm almost entering level 500.
So I would say yours has been a personal decision, and it's some sort of influenced by those around you, because your parents are not, sorry to say, the highly educated ones, the type to be able to guide your steps and the way. So, but do you know, most people face this challenge. It's either their personal decision or trying to please the family. You would want to do this, or your family would want you to do that.
Yeah.
So, what do you have to say about that also? Is it about following your passion or listening to what your parents are telling you? What do you say about it?
So that is dual innovated, I would say. I would say it's dual innovated because these are two options that sometimes may all go in your favor, right? So there are times that you may want to chase passion, but what your parents are telling you is the real deal. And there are times that what your parents is telling you isn't the real deal. Your passion is the real route to your success. So yes, I do believe that if you really have interest in where you want to enter and you think that you have enough energy, you have the mentality it takes, you have the strength, the determination it takes to drive you through where you want to enter. Because sometimes we do close up the field of reality with passion. So there are places that you may enter with passion where reality will go against you. And there are places that you may enter with reality where passion may go against you. And as such, I think you must follow your instincts, you must follow your conscience, because choosing on your own, I'm a stand Christian, right? I'm a member of the ICGC Christ Temple East, and listening and following the counsels and heaking to the Bible. There are times that I believe God speaks to us through our conscience and our instincts, and as such, when God speaks to you that your passion is the way, Benedict is the way. It's the same way God speaks through people around you. There are times that you are not feeling anything. You yourself, you are not feeling a stern drive to enter what you want to enter, but you feel it's a passion. And then your parents comes in and tells you that, no, where you are going, Kweku, Kwame, Abena, this is not where I want you to be. I want you to be here. I think in that circumstance, you must listen to your parents, because sometimes God drops messages and people who are around us. And you must know that parents do love us more than sometimes we even do love ourselves. They care about us, and so in as much as they may not want you to go into a place, they may have 10 reasons and solid reasons why they may be trying to push you away from a spot in life they don't want you to enter. God speaks to them for us, so I call them our angels. And so if this question is a very tough one, but as a dual innovation circumstance. There are times that passion will lead you to the end results. There are times that your parents will also lead you to the end results. What makes the difference is your instinct and your conscience and the availability of whatever stains your passion. Yeah.
That's cool to hear. So I would want us to get a little bit into our educational system in Ghana. It's an interesting, subject. You hear people debating on the educational system. Mostly they are saying it's more theoretical than practical.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? The educational system in Ghana.
So one thing I feel must be changed in the system of Ghana is education. The whole educational system of Ghana needs to be relooked at, because I feel that it's high time that our children go to school and they know the definition to a lot of things, and they don't even know what it practically looks like. They don't know how to make it with their hands. They don't know how to craft whatever they've been taught in school. I met some few kids. They are not kids actually. I met some young guys who are students of Prosec Legon, right? And these guys are studying chemistry. And as a pharmacy person, I do understand the practical part of chemistry more than they do. But I expected them to know some little practicality about the chemistry they are doing, even the basis. But here's the case. I asked them questions about rate of reaction. They are able to give me definitions. They are giving me what catalysts do to a reaction, what inhibitors do to a reaction, and I ask them the practical side of this whole shit, and they don't even know what to do. They are just there, and what the other one told me is, senior, yeah, say exam pass. It's about how time that the educational system of Ghana is relooked, refurbished, and renovated. I call it renovation because I feel that we are not changing the system of theory, right? We are just adding up the system of practicality. And so I was very happy when my political party, the New Patriotic Party, the Elephant Party, introduced the STEM, because I feel that STEM was another branch of education that we weren't looking much into. And as we speak, STEM has empowered a lot of women. It has brought about women in engineering, women in STEM. Now I see young kids, working around robots. So I feel the times where all of us were studying physics and weren't practicing the physics is fading away from the system. Just because the New Patriotic Party has introduced the STEM education. And so as such, yeah, I do think that the educational system of Ghana needs to be rewatched. The rewatch should be this way. We are not throwing away the theoretical part of it. We are increasing the practicality of the whole thing. We are adding practical knowledge to the whole theory we give to our kids. And as such, it will bring life into our education, because there will be a time where kids, just right from senior high school, after studying physics, will be able to create circuits, will be able to create, some stuffs that we do even import, but we study them in physics. I studied about fuse in physics. I knew, say, the fuse is a short piece wire which has, a lower melting point and prevents overflow of current and all. But all the fuse terms they say, I don't even know how to put a fuse into a gadget to make a fuse work in a device. And so as such, I feel that we must relook at it, add the practicality to it, and give more life to the educational system of the country.
You said it all when it comes to education and restructuring education. So now what I would ask you next is, when did you start seeing real stability? You're talking from a point of challenge where, you were facing some financial difficulty growing up, and even to where you've gotten to. When did you actually see some kind of, stability, as in, now things are a bit okay, so let me focus and then do more? When did you begin seeing that?
Wait, so Benedict, this is something that looks like a definition to success for me. I would say that I noticed that I was successful when I was doing things I find purpose in and I was sustained in it. So if you ask me what success is, I tell you that success is when you found love in what you do, you found love in purpose, you found a way to be sustained in it, and you keep going in it every time and then. So if you ask me when I saw stability, to me it sounds like when I became successful in the game. I noticed that I've become successful in the game when I was doing the things I love and it was sustaining me. So stability doesn't even mostly we see stability from the side of having 7 digit amount in your bank account, 7 digit amount in any account you've created. But sometimes stability is when you found purpose in yourself. Stability is when you know what you are about. Stability is when you know you can do something, you do that and you're okay and you move on with that and then you are sustained in it. So if you ask me when I became stable, I would say that somewhere around level 300 in pharmacy school was the turning point where I brought out a book that turned the interest of the people called Serendipity. So Serendipity spoke about the background where I was coming from, my mom selling pure water, my dad being a shoe hawker, which things weren't working right for him. There is this thing about my dad I don't usually say, but I'll say on this show because I really appreciate that man. He had a shop in Cantamanto, not his personal shop. He was working with someone in Cantamanto. And unfortunately, the shops got burnt. I saw my father to be a soft person because he's the part of me which is very cool. My mom is that energetic person who always finds a way to make things make reason in very difficult times, right? But my dad is someone who has been cool, quiet, calm, reserved, in even tough situations. But here was the case where, things weren't working out. Na nneɛma ɛmfa. Store a ɔyɛ adwuma wɔ hɔ ahye. Now this man went out looking for loans. Now, what he was telling those who were lending him the money is that he wanted to invest in the education of his son. He wanted to invest in the education of his children. We are two, right? I and my younger sister. At that time, I didn't have a younger sister. It was just me, right? But my father was looking at, getting resources that would take care of a family of 16 just to invest into my education. And so as such, every show, every interview I sit on, I do acknowledge him. When I started noticing stability, he was the first person that, told me that, yeah, I feel yes and because this is somebody who has seen me come from, the difficult side of us. He's seen me erupted from the very painful scratch where we used to, suffer to find something to eat. My mom would put me at her back. This is emotional, right? My mom will put me at her back. We will walk all the way from there is a park called Odododo, right? There was a Malcolm, warehouse over there. She used to take pure water from there, and we would walk all the way from that side to a cool store called Beyaman along the graphic road street. So you wouldn't graphic road that you would, buy into what I was saying. We'll walk all the way from there to Kaneshi and back and walk down to Makola. Because that time I know Kasana pure water 20 pesos. So you should imagine how stressful it was. I do understand that the economy has grown and at that time things weren't tough like it is now when it comes to the economical structure of Ghana and how much things cost and all in the country now. But Benedict, it was a very tough time because now was a you school fees, now was a you rent. Now I was say yeah, you did it. But there were times that sorry to say, you call abonten, koye juma coaching team, papa beko baby or beko bia, and there would be nothing for us. It means that day we have to survive on what someone may or may not give us. And say, your coffee will be ama you be in there. So that's it for us. And this was a young me. I was just I think 7 years of age. I started schooling at 6 because of financial instability. Nti me maame hyɛ me maame akyi tɔn ɛma yɛtɔn nsuo kyɛ. Myself, I used to hold can with water. So I always say that at a younger age, even before I knew the weight of the school bag behind me, I knew the weight of coins in my pocket because I'm a ton pure water. I used to sell the pure water with my mom. Now, even to me, Accra, no, that graphic road and entourage, that that circle. It means no be Benedict. It means that sada ne numero no any yankopon. You can shed them even if it's water, we will drink and we have to sleep. It has I see it say it is a part of my life that has kept my stable times really influencing, because they say, I know how it feels to suffer. I know how it feels to come from a very dangerous side of life. I know how it feels to come from the poorest side of life. And as such, I know how to handle money. I know how to keep money. I know how to use money. If you ask all the boys around me, I'll tell you that day in, day out, I'm talking to them about how we are investing money, how we are moving into the next phase of finance, how we are holding the money we have, what we are doing with the capital we've gained, how we are moving from even this stage to the next stage of life. Because I feel life never stops for me. I have bigger visions for the family. As such, I also have bigger visions for the people of Ghana. If you monitor me, recently I made a post on Twitter that I do not want so much. I want a time where I would get the little to even raise the sinking people up. People who are just at the scratch, just like I was. I want a time to come where I can, hold them, put them on my back, and take them. Even though someone may or may not have done so much for me to take us, uprightly out of poverty. I want a time to come for me where I would hold the hands of people from the streets, take them to a greater path, cause moments of testimonies for them. So if you ask me, the stability I'm facing now may not necessarily be material. Let me see, but I have the material. I have a bit of the material now. Nyame adom, say a book. The writing is paying. A lot of things are working out for me. I'm gaining influence. People are listening to me and they are being inspired. But Ubisame say, when did I really see that I have become stable? It was when I found purpose in what I do and what I love, and it sustained me, and I kept moving day in and day out with it.